Ladies and gentlemen, it's here. Or as Artosis would often say, it's time.
It is time, TotalBiscuit. It is time for a best-of-7 finals between the greatest gamer who has ever lived, Flash, and herO from SanDisk. One of the big fan favorites in the world, one of the best Protosses there are. This is just happiness. It's the best way to describe this. This is happiness. Guys, get out there, spread the word, get on Reddit, Team Liquid, Twitter, Facebook, whatever you have, and let people know this is about to happen.
And please do, because they will... Sorry, I'm just getting a message from someone randomly here. With a Korean name. Never mind. Anyway, yes, please do talk about this on Twitter. @SanDisk is, of course, the sponsor of this tournament. I'm sure they would like to know your thoughts. And, of course, hashtag SanDisk is what we're currently using for discussion. So if you put hashtag SanDisk in your message, that means your message goes in with all the other messages, and you get to read what the audience is saying right now. So please do let people know, because this is literally esports history. Flash has never played a TVP best of 7, and herO hasn't either.
Well, it's about time. Thank you for bringing this to us, SanDisk and TotalBiscuit. This is going to be fantastic. I cannot wait to start. The first map going to be Frost, a great macro-esque map to start this match out on.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. All right, they confirmed ready. Crank was obviously confused, but he is... Frost will be the first map in the final best of 7 series of the SanDisk SHOUTCraft Invitational. Hopefully the best of 7 series in the SanDisk SHOUTCraft Invitational. A TVP for the ages with a lot of money on the line.
Alright, I am just so pumped about this. I have no idea who's going to end up winning. That last series kind of crazy. Didn't go the way I thought it would. So I'm not even going to hazard a guess as to how this one's going to go.
Probably for the best. Let's just... experience it.
Yes.
It's gonna happen, folks. Here it is. First map in this best of 7 grand finals. With a lot of money on the line. $7,000 in total will be split between these two players. As to who gets the lion's share of it, well, that's entirely up to them. To the northeast position. In the red trunks, playing Terran. The ultimate weapon. KT Rolster's Flash.
And his opponent, in the bottom right of our map, SanDisk's real ace, is none other than herO.
Smiling assassin. Will he be smiling after this, is the question, when he walks away with $4,500, or will, of course, he be sent packing by God himself? Now, talking about being sent packing by God himself, the stats are not in herO's favor in this match.
Really?
No, they are not. Turns out, the last time, and the only time, that herO actually beat Flash in a televised competitive match was actually on day 1 of the SanDisk SHOUTCraft Invitational. That was it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That one game.
That one game. He's never beaten him in Pro League.
Map.
Yeah,
it was on this map.
He's never beaten him in Pro League, and I was very surprised by that. But I looked at a Ligolac, and it's like 6-1. In favor of Flash.
Wow. That's actually like very, very surprising to me. I wasn't expecting it. Yeah. You know, I did see their very recent match in Pro League on King Sejong Station, and herO had a big lead and really looked like he was going to take it home, and then kind of suicided up Flash's ramp, and probably still should have won, but it was Flash, so Flash took it.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously close games, but the fact that Flash has such a record against him is quite shocking.
It is. But, of course, we should not necessarily put too much importance on stats for best of 1 Pro League matches, because they don't really mean that much. I think the best of 3 that they played in the group stage was far more telling.
Yeah, I would say so. And that did end up 2-1 for Flash.
It did.
The one loss, as we were saying, was on this map against a Nexus First. And this game, to kind of hedge his bets against the Nexus First, Flash has gone for Command Center First. So we already see a few mind games, but of course, herO, he's going Nexus First anyways.
Well, we're certainly not going to see any attacking for a while. That's pretty much guaranteed at this point. The CC and the Nexus, we could start off with a really great macro game, which I'm definitely not going to complain about.
Oh, certainly not. I'm actually really excited to see this because that was the game where we're like, wow, herO just played perfectly. There was nothing Flash could do. And the fact that Flash has opened on this map with a command center first instead of a Reaper opening shows a big nod towards the fact that he knows that there was nothing that he could really do, that herO would just play perfectly. So he's kind of made it so that herO doesn't just get a free win. Well, it's of course not free, but you know, if herO can play a perfect game like that, that's ooh, my God, what are we seeing here?
Flash, what are you doing?
He's so brilliant. Oh my God, he's so brilliant. This is like, think about this, right? You're going command center first, your opponent's going Nexus first. To beat something that's greedy, the best way to beat it is to be a little bit more greedy. And the way that he's choosing to be a little bit more greedy with this third command down in the bottom left, the odds of herO scouting that anytime soon, almost none.
Minimal. Definitely minimal.
Yeah.
He may smell something's a bit off if he gets a scout of the base, which, considering he is going for a Stargate, the Oracle could see quite a lot. And then he could say, I don't think that is your full bank. I'd really think there's 400 minerals missing somewhere. It's possible. And then he starts to go and look around the usual places. But you're right. Finding that is very unlikely.
Yeah, you really have to be on top of your game to figure out that 400 minerals are missing from a command center first build like this when you went Nexus first, because these builds don't line up very often. But
ooh, Flash,
you know, on top
got into the base, which is really surprising. He's not going to see the Stargate. He does see a Robo, though.
Yeah, well, you know, seeing that Robo, I guess that's good. But he sees the timing of it that's not done yet, so he might be able to infer, just as this Oracle may be able to infer there's a missing command center, that an Oracle could be coming.
Yeah, he may be able to guess that. Thankfully, he did go for the double kind of raw barracks into another barracks, which gives him enough Marines to fend the Oracle off. But as we've seen, Stim is very late, so... Flash is going for a 4th CC. I'm pretty sure this is designed as a fake to be seen. To hide the fact that Ninja Expo exists. But Flash is taking damage in his main mineral line here. The Oracle's being driven away. The airspace is not very good, of course, but Oracles are really damn fast. And this is good surgical precision here from herO.
Look at that. 7 kills.
Jeez,
8 kills.
9, and he's out of there.
Oh my God, that
good.
was such a good Oracle. And right now, 35 SCVs to 50. You know, Flash took an early advantage by hiding this command center in the bottom left, but herO just gave himself the lead off of just great Oracle micro.
Yeah, he did. He really did. And I think after that, Flash actually must complete this command center. We don't even know if it was a fake in the first place, but I mean, it seemed like it was. Like, why would you need a 4th against a 2-base Protoss that's now just started his 3rd base? But this is going to be interesting because herO now thinks that the 3rd command center is about to finish, and of course he managed to delay it. So hero's going to be feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. He's got to be looking at it and saying, wow, I killed a lot of SCVs there. My 3rd base is going to be almost as fast as his 3rd base. Yeah. You know, I'm going to have all the units I need. I'm totally fine. But that base in the bottom left, the longer that stays there, the scarier it is.
Oh my God, Flash, you greedy. That's the 4th orbital. Like, he's not even thinking about a planetary. He's like, no. I was thinking maybe he turns that into a planetary, but that's a bit of a giveaway, because like, Flash would never do that.
Yeah,
that's what I do on ladder, because I'm scared and can't deal with more than 2 bases. Flash would never do something like that. But that's going to be 4 mules at a time. That is the greediest I have ever seen from a Terran player against Protoss here, but... This Oracle's going to continue to do work, man. Thankfully, the missile turret is up, but it is being annoying.
Yeah, this is a cool game, man. I'm really enjoying this so far. That Oracle, though, is getting so much value, so much bang for its buck. Flash has to be a little bit frustrated about that. But I feel like herO might just get caught off guard when he walks across the map thinking that he should be ahead, and then it's like, Flash, really? How do you have this much money?
It's starting to get close, man. herO does have a pylon, which is kind of sitting in a very, Very interesting location. It could see something if there's, I don't know, maybe some weird mist rally or something along those lines. But it's always very tense when a opponent starts to creep closer and closer to a Ninja Expo. He has no idea it's there, but he might eventually find it by accident. Flash's economy right now with 4 mules is ridiculous. He's banking over 2,400 minerals a minute at the moment. His production should start flying any moment. He's currently only on 5 racks. It could go a lot higher than that, and he knows it. He's already going double starport because he knows herO's tendencies when it comes to the Colossus there.
Yeah, he's going to have just an insane maxed out army really, really quickly here with tons of Vikings, tons of Medivacs, Marines, Marauders to boot, just everything all over the place. So, going to be tough, but herO is really good in situations like this as well. He's extremely good at his defense. He does have his double eBays up, or rather, sorry, his double forges up to fight the double eBay. So, he's going to be all right. It's going to be very hard to break him still.
Yeah, well, and Flash doesn't have a crazy army out in the front here, and actually, I think kind of needs to leave. Definitely needs to leave. He's going to lose Medivacs if he doesn't. Those Blink Stalkers are going to harass this all the way home. And that's the 3 Colossus push. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of units coming out here, but Flash's production kind of wasn't quite there yet. So even though he's pulling in a lot of money, he was struggling to kind of spend it all, and now his army's being picked apart piecemeal on the way back, and has overstimmed. Seriously overstimmed.
Yeah, that was quite a nice little chase sequence there from herO to be able to pick off so much and force so many stims. And, ooh, a nice tag from that Oracle, but does get taken down finally.
Yeah, it was going to happen. I mean, it couldn't harass the mineral lines anymore because of the missile turret, so it might as well get a little bit of an eye on it. The Medivac count concerns me greatly. And, of course, this revelation, it's like Flash almost, like, is saying to herO here, it's like, look at how many Vikings I got. Like, he took his 1 Viking. He could have actually moved that 1 Viking away, but he chose not to, which makes me feel that was deliberate. He is saying, come at me. I know you can't. I have too much.
Yeah, he's basically advertising for free that he has double Stargates, or Starports, rather, just producing nonstop. Not going to stop herO, though. He is walking out into the middle of the map. I wonder if he's actually thinking about poking here. If he does, he's going to be in for a surprise.
I mean, I can't even say that that's a surprise. I mean, he knows the Vikings are there. It seems suicidal to do that, especially with the airspace on this map. Vikings can easily flank from the right in that position, and they will kill Colossus really fast. It almost seems like he's baiting in some way. But
you think he wants Flash to come out and fight him here?
Yeah, I think maybe. But it also could be to defend this 4th that he's putting down here, and he wants to posture on the map and just be scary, just puff out his chest a little bit to make sure that Flash doesn't go and attack him.
Yeah, you know what? That's a really good point. I think that might be right straight on to what's happening here. By standing out in the middle, he kind of keeps Flash on the defense. Notice with that 4th base, he's warping these pylons everywhere. Has a whole bunch of DTs here as well, ready to sneak in.
Yeah, decent amount of EMP available, though, so if there's actually fights in the army, even if there isn't a scan, then that stuff could be spotted. But there's not a lot of defense in this mineral line, so that stuff can get picked off very easily. Flash is now kind of caught out here. He's in the time warp. The DTs make their way into that mineral line and just wreck it completely. And there's no reinforcements, really. He's going to have to stim back home, and he's going to lose that whole mineral line in seconds.
Oh, that was beautiful play there by herO, luring the army up, sending these DTs, now sending them into the main base. Flash's entire army stimming and running up. This may give herO a timing attack.
I think it will, and there's not enough Medivacs here, so herO is at a good spot here. He's sending Zealots to the 3rd base, and now he's going to attack with his main force and try to take on the main. Of course, Flash's army is big, but that's a lot of red health Marines. And Flash's army is actually kind of all over the place. He needs to bring it together pretty much immediately. Those Marines just melt completely to charging Zealots. But the Viking count is extremely high. The Colossus get melted immediately. The stim forward here by Flash on red health. He doesn't care. He's going to fight anyway.
Well, these Zealots pushing in, and they're kind of putting themselves into little choke points, but they are starting to deal with a lot of these ground forces.
The Vikings!
Lands the Vikings here, and of course he has so many, he will wipe out those Zealots very quickly.
That's pretty good. You know, Flash was kind of pulled to pieces by that, because that was a brilliant 3-pronged maneuver by herO to draw his opponent's army out, force an overstim, because I think he identified the fact that there were so few Medivacs. So he's like, oh, you got to stim back. You got to stim back. I'm going to draw you out, and then I'm going to force you to stim your army, because you need to respond, otherwise your economy will die. Of course, herO's still kind of confused, because he still only sees 3 bases. It's like, what? Where's your army coming from here?
Yeah, how are you remaxing this quickly? That's a little bit odd. Your army is so valuable as well. Look at this, a lot of medevacs being produced. He's still making Vikings, just a crazy amount, 15 out at the moment.
Lovely
and
MP by
with
Flash.
just one Colossus, like 15 Vikings is almost just overkill.
Yeah. Like that little move there by Flash. You saw the DT EMP. He did lose the Ghost in the process, but he killed 2 DTs before they were able to harass that mineral line again, so I guess that was alright. His Viking count, as you said, is very, very high. The Colossus count, of course, will not be rebuilt now because the Viking count is so ridiculous. And I'm actually kind of surprised that he's still building Vikings. The fight is on once again. Flash is taking out the Colossus very easily, but look at how many charging Zealots are in the mix here. Flash does have a slight upgrade lead, though, and is starting stepping very well against this.
Oh god, and a lot of his Vikings
They're all
actually
gonna
picked
die,
over
yeah,
on that
yeah.
left-hand side. Absolutely brutal. He will hold off those Zealots, but that was a ton of Vikings lost. That's really painful, and now herO can finally go back into Colossus.
Yeah, that was unnecessary there by Flash. He shouldn't have had them there. There was no reason. He knew all the Colossus were dead, so that's the time you just pull those Vikings back. There's no reason for them to be there anymore. And he's going to lose yet more here, which is unnecessary. And I'm still very concerned about his oversteering, but now we are actually getting the Flash kind of counter medevacs that I'm used to. You remember back when he first started playing Heart of the Swarm, where his medevac count was so ridiculously high? Now he's kind of getting there.
Yeah, Flash is known for wanting to have 10-plus medevacs in this matchup. It's crazy to see, but really works out well for him. And as he does get it for those numbers and stays maxed out against a confused herO, he is gaining more and more of an edge.
Confused herO indeed. herO is saying to himself, this is impossible. I don't care how good your macro is. You're on 3 bases. There's no way your army could possibly be this big. And there's no way you could possibly have those upgrades. But a flank comes in from the side here. And we've got the fight going on once again. The Colossus taken out. But Flash with a huge amount of units. He's going to kite these Zealots very effectively. He's going to break through that. And then I think he can stim forward, surge forward, and try and smash this. 1 Immortal falls. 2nd Immortal falls. So many Marauders. herO's army melts.
herO blinking back, trying to get away right now while he warps in some more units. He has to be just scratching his head right now.
How did you do it?
How is he doing this?
How did you do it? They're on red health, but I think this warp in may very well be enough to clean this up. The reinforcements are not really streaming across. He might actually have to lift up and go, but his medevacs have been torn from the sky. I love the target fire there from herO, realizing, hey, you know, these are on red. I know you need this, but I'm still very concerned about herO's ability to stay in the game. A 5th base is now established here for Flash versus the 4-base herO. herO's still on 70 probes, though, so he's certainly not out of this yet.
Yeah, he's still fighting. He's still making more Colossi. He has a couple out. He's not about to die right this second, but as Flash is going to hit another max, that's just like, I mean, I'll be very surprised if herO doesn't hop into the replay after this and be like,
I wouldn't blame him.
What the hell? What is going on here?
How did you do it? And he still hasn't spotted it. Wow, I think he might now. Is Flash doing... Flash has got to be doing this on purpose. Like, look at where this SCV is, right in front of that pylon. He's almost mined out there. It's almost like he's taunting herO with that SCV.
Well, if herO tries to send his army to the bottom left, that's going to be all Flash needs to roll over his new base. But I think herO has to stay at home. He's way down in supply, down by over 30 at the moment, despite having a really solid economy all game long.
Yeah.
A really tough situation here for herO. How does he walk out and attack ever?
With great difficulty. I mean, his upgrades are good, and he is starting to work on the shield upgrade as well, which is obviously not the best thing against Terran, especially against L11 Ghost Terran. It's actually going to be 12 ghosts. My god, the ghost count for Flash is getting crazy here. The Viking count is very, very low, but even with that amount of ghosts and a good amount of Marauders, it almost doesn't matter.
Well, you know, that's the super late game of TVP. That's what I really like to see top-end Terrans go for. A lot of Vikings, a lot of Ghosts. Just pick apart all their splash units and then win through your micro. And that's looks like what he wants to try to do. But herO has a lot of gateways right now.
Yeah,
he can reinforce really quickly. And sometimes if you kind of overmake the tech units, huge swaths of Zealots can be warped in and help to run over those units that maybe aren't as good head-to-head against gateway units.
Charging Zealots with 3-3 are ridiculously cost-effective and very easy to bring into the fight, you know, and you don't really have to do much with them either. You just point them in the general direction of the enemy, and they just start screaming like madmen and slashing their swords, and really things just come to pieces. They're torn apart, so they're a great unit to have. They don't require a lot of brains.
No, they certainly do not. Now, we do finally have some Archons. Looks like it's going to be morphed here. Maybe get some feedbacks as well from herO. Doesn't have Psystorm yet, though, so that is an issue. Psystorm going to be something, if this game goes a lot longer, that he definitely needs.
Yeah, that's pretty significant, actually. And Flash knows that base is there and he's going to crush it. There's no doubt about that. The question is, what is herO's response to that? If he fights dead on the 7 Colossus, that's a pretty good number. But like you said, without Storm, it's entirely possible that Flash wins that fight anyway. And even if he doesn't, he's still mining pretty well. His income is good. It's not as good because this ninja base is now pretty much mined out.
Yeah, well, at least he's getting that other one going with the planetary this time as well. You know, one thing I'm a little bit nervous about here, 7 Colossus, as you were pointing out, that's against just 13 Vikings. He had more Vikings when there was 1 Colossus out than he has right now.
Yeah, he let go of all those for no reason. In the meantime, this really powerful run-by just wiped the mineral line of that 3rd, 4th, I'm not even sure what base that is at this point. I think it was his 4th base. So that's pretty annoying. He's even killing supply depots, which, as we know, is the one thing that really sets Flash off.
Yeah, he does not like to lose his depots. Goes up, saves most of them, so that's good. I don't think he's tilting quite yet.
Somehow, herO hasn't even seen the 2nd ninja base that's in the natural of the original ninja base. He still hasn't seen it. It's obviously a planetary, so it's going to be pretty annoying. Great placement of the Marine there by Flash. Loving that. That might get a probe if he micros at any rate. EMP's going down. That's a lot of cloak ghosts. The ghost count is Thorzane level. You remember back in Wings of Liberty? He would build this many ghosts. Oh my god, the EMPs are brutal. The time warp's pretty good, but I think herO has got to tuck tail and run here.
Yeah, he's got to turn around for now, taking that many EMPs to the face, but at least he killed a lot of the ghosts there. That is important, as he does have Psystorm now. Yep. He's got to keep that ghost count as low as possible so he can get those important storms off. 1
Colossus down. The Viking count is now back up to 19 with +3 weapons. Absolutely fantastic upgrade. Snipes coming in on the High Templar. Colossus now going to fall. A big storm, though. But Flash didn't actually put most of his army through there. Really, really smart play, knowing, of course, that he was running right into a potential storm. Those Colossus are going to get absolutely gutted. They're all going to die before Flash even fights, but so many charging zealots, but they're melting. They're actually melting. There's so many units attacking them. There's so many ghosts that they were able to devastate that, but the storm comes down. The Vikings land and try to fight another storm, and in the meantime, the 4th base of Flash was killed by Dark Templar. This is a massacre on both sides.
I cannot even believe what I'm seeing here. This is one of the most epic macro TVPs we have seen all year long. herO holding on against everything and even harassing somehow, while Flash with his endless max out armies just crush everything. And once again, going after this additional base for herO.
Oh my god, the Smiling Assassin is living up to his name. He is literally sending in DTs to backstab ghosts. And just in and out, just focus fire everywhere. Flash is going to take that base out, of course. This base has been found, but it's got a lot of guns on it, and that Zealot is not going to have a good time.
No, certainly he is not. Flash going to probably want to get a turret up over there, as I'm sure herO's going to try to sneak in DTs eventually. Totally. But now that he's been found, can he continue to hold on? Because herO is really stabilized in this game. He's got a solid army. He's pushing Flash around the map now. And, you know, if he can secure one more base, he's still a force to win.
Yeah, I'm concerned that Flash hasn't been able to retake that 3rd, but look at that, the surround and the flank comes in and picks off a Colossus. The 2nd one falls. herO's army's sort of out of position all over the place. Flash is going to run over it. He does that very, very effectively indeed. Is now pushing forward with the remains of his force. And Colossus, it's misrallied. It's dead.
And that is it.
GG.
Flash taking an epic and masterful game 1 after that hit and expand. Wow, that is one way to start off a series.
How cool was that? What an awesome, awesome opening map. And Flash wins the map that herO... I mean, that was the only map herO's ever won against him, and now Flash just took it.
Oh my god, it's... The way that Flash is playing here today is nothing short of astounding. But let's not forget, he had that hidden base, which was a huge advantage for the whole game. Yeah. And herO still fought back. Like, he almost got Flash. Like, Flash was never, like, about to die or anything. But herO was getting pretty close to breaking the back of Flash's army several times.
Yes, he was. That was awesome. That shows how evenly matched these guys are. The fact that herO was down one base for so long and still stayed in that game for as long as he did. His DT harass, I wouldn't even call that surgical. Like, it's Assassin's Creed level of stabbing going on there. You know, we can rename him Ezio at this point. He just ripped apart ghost after ghost, surgical precision. He sends the DTs in at the right time. That fourth base just got flattened by Zealot Robots. It was never rebuilt. And I was so impressed by herO there. Even though we hype Flash a lot, herO played so well too. I really hope the rest of the series is like this, because that was amazing.
Dude, the rest of the series can't be like this. You got to be careful how many epic games you have in one tournament, TotalBiscuit, or no one's going to watch anything else anymore. I mean, this has been so sick so far, and with Flash taking the early lead, we may have another Terran champion of a big tournament.
That would be incredible, wouldn't it? And that would be kind of double triumph for those of us who really do love our Terran, man. It is awesome to see this going on right now. This is a great series. I'm going to ask these guys if they need a break, of course. You know, they're entitled to one whenever they want. Need break, players, or go. There we go. Flash is not known, of course, for really wanting to communicate in English. herO's English is pretty good. Yeah, Flash is even telling me go in Korean. Yeah. Okay, the point has been taken. Thanks, guys. There we go. Like, start typed out in individual letters there. Thanks.
Yep, they're ready to go. These guys, they play all day long, and they don't need any breaks, TotalBiscuit. They just want to see who wins this series. I'm sure herO hungry for some revenge now on the next map, Overgrowth.
What a great start. So hyped about this. Of course, we actually have hit the highest viewer amount we've got for this entire tournament up to this point, which is amazing, considering it's like 3 a.m. in Europe right now. It's, of course, Sunday evening, so people have to get up for work in the morning, and apparently they don't care. They're turning up anyway to watch this. The Chinese stream is, I believe, above 10,000 viewers right now. We are here, folks. We are in the finals, and it is showing. This is gonna be amazing. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Overgrowth in the SanDisk SHOUTCraft Invitational. This is the best of 7 grand finals between two world-class players. Southwest position in the red trunks playing Protoss, currently down 1 map in this best of 7 series. CJ enters herO.
And the guy that is eventually going to usher in Terran OP statements, I guarantee you, eventually it'll be his fault. It is KT Rolster Flash, who is just playing so well, TotalBiscuit. I am loving this, seeing Flash finally in these Best of X series doing what he used to do, which is just play some amazing, amazing StarCraft.
You know, maybe he's just bad at best of 3s. Some people are. Maybe he's just bad at best of 3s, because he's not too shabby in best of 7s. When he gets the chance to play them, he has, of course, lost them in the past, but they've been close. It's like 4-3 to life. I think, like, twice, actually, come to think of it. He's been playing some pretty good. Anything best of 5 onwards, like, he seems to do pretty damn well in.
Well, I'm hoping he continues to do pretty damn well here. I really want Flash to be our champion at the end of the day, but a map like this, you can't really hide a command center on. It's really easy to scout, so he's going to have to pull some other tricks out of his bag if he's going to beat herO like that again.
Well, what I'm liking at the moment is Flash's build variety and the sheer number of things he is willing to try. He's actually not a safe player at all. He's quite creative, and he has confidence in his abilities, which I think is very important.
Yeah, the fact that he's willing in Game 1 to not only go command center first, but immediately take a third base down on herO's side of the map, really far away from himself. In fact, as far away from himself as it could be. That's Flash taking just calculated risks, saying, whatever, I'm here to win. I'm not here to just try to play safe and grind. I'm here to win.
Yep, he is. No doubt about that. Reaper on the way. And SCV sharking around the base here. Can't imagine he's going to try to put anything down there, but he gets a good idea of what herO's doing. Nothing particularly unusual. And the Reaper is making its way across the map. Stalker's going to match up with that. That's an interesting pylon position, I've got to say, here from herO down to the bottom of his natural.
Yeah, that's a little bit different. I wonder if he's going to hide some tech in his natural. That's something that can happen. It's not that common, but It has happened in the past. Maybe he's going to go for like a blank build this game. Maybe he wants to mix it up and go really aggressive on Flash and kind of tie up the series like that.
I don't want to mess with Flash's macro. You know, CJ Hero's macro was excellent, but Flash's was a tier above. Of course, it helped that he had that base. But yeah, this is an interesting position for the pylon, and it could disguise many things. Stalker's going to meet the Reaper. The Reaper does need to leave, of course, at this point. Flash, with his early engineering bay and super early missile turret, Flash thinks it's an Oracle.
Yeah, you know, there was double gas, and the command center certainly was quite late. And, you know, I guess there was that missing pylon because he made one at the natural. So he's putting it all together and saying, this might be Oracle.
It could be. That SCV almost got into the bunker that it just built. It built a shelter for 2 Marines and then was locked out of its own hut, which is unfortunate. You spend so much time building that and then you die right outside it. As good a place to be buried as any, I suppose. But yeah, he thinks it is something which it is not. In fact, we don't even know what it is yet.
Yeah, it looks like hero's just playing kind of normally aside from hiding a pylon. But you know what? If you can put a pylon down there and force Flash to make a missile turret, that's great.
Whoa! herO!
Wow.
That's a third Nexus at 5 minutes 50.
That's about as quick as you can get for a third Nexus. This is like parting 2012 stuff that we're watching right now. What is he going to do with this? Is he going to do a giant gateway follow-up attack? Because that's what parting used to do with Nexuses this quick.
And the Reaper dies. Not quite fast enough. He's not... Yeah, I mean, Flash has no info. Flash thinks it's an Oracle play. Flash played safe, which means that herO played greedy. Really, really greedy.
About as greedy as you can really get with such a quick third Nexus. And in fact, will he be able to scout anything? He's sending a Marine down, but with both Watchtowers, this Stalker is easily going to kill it off. Flash has no info.
herO is all over this. Flash is going to feel slightly paranoid about the fact that the deflection of these scouts has been so good. It's almost like it's a little too good, you know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. herO's crossing every T and dotting every I right now. He's grabbing his Twilight and his Forge as well, so this isn't just going to be a big bludgeoning follow-up attack like we used to see with such quick third bases. This is more of like an Oz-style build, actually. And I'm very excited to see, can he hold off everything that Flash is going to throw at him?
On 3 bases, maybe. I don't think Flash really has the ability to apply too much pressure, but he does have 18 Marines. The thing is, he doesn't have Stim, he doesn't have combat shields. He does have the +1 upgrade. And 3 bases, of course, a bit more difficult to cover with Photon Overcharge. But the Mothership, of course, can have 200 energy, so it's not going to run the Marines around that much. Oh, it's the Oracle. Look, it's here. Flash is like, I knew it! I knew that. Oh, that's not real, is it?
Well, that's adding a little bit of insult to injury there, to be perfectly honest.
He's totally doing this on purpose, man. His teammates probably told him right after that game, because he didn't have time to watch the replay. It's like, yeah, Flash put that thing right. Flash put that CC right there, and hero's just thinking to himself, what a bastard! I've got to do something about that. And he goes for his own version of that greed.
Well, you know, right now we actually have him going up to 9 gateways. 9.
Why not?
Gates. That's not something that you see every day. So this is kind of crazy. His production is going to be off the scale, and he's even getting a robo now. So he's going to be pretty safe against everything. His army's going to be so gigantic. This is very much like last game, but in reverse, where Flash is going to be like, oh my god, how do you have so many units? That third base must have been so fast.
Well, hero's on top of pretty much everything. He knows there's an army out there somewhere that he's going to have to deal with, and he also knows that his army's not that big, but in about 30 seconds, it's going to be pretty damn huge, because he has those extra gateways and Blink's about to be done. Flash doesn't even have medevacs yet, for God's sake. He's going to get a Stalker, but that's a stim that he'll never get back, you know?
That's right. He's got to get his medevacs down here. They are on the way right now, but this army of heroes is just too big. I don't want to see Flash actually engage this at the moment. I'd be very surprised if he pulled it off and killed this.
No, I would have liked to see him maybe poke at the Nexus earlier and then pull back. I think he had an opportunity. He's doing it now. And, like, hero's almost kind of drawn out of position. He's gonna fuck. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. But how much damage is he gonna take on the way out? The force fields! The probes surround! Flash's army just got sliced to pieces.
Oh my god, and the DPS of these Marines just really proving to be so strong, killing off a lot of units, turning around
wow,
as soon as
Flash
they
is still
flank
fighting.
forward.
The Zealots are at the
He's
back.
trading for anything he can get. Look at this supply. He's doing a great job.
How did you just do that? The Zealots were caught at the back there. The force fields were amazing, but the warping of Zealots got caught behind the sentries and the force fields, so the follow-up never happened, but there's a flank moving in here. Another stim, but oh, man, that was almost a free stalker. Really nice blink out there, backed by herO. And now Flash pulls back, but does he have enough to defend this? He doesn't have bunkers up.
Well, this
He
is
might.
a very powerful attack incoming, but at least he's got a wall to fight behind against these Zealots. He's got quite a few medevacs as well. He can pull his SCVs. Yeah, I think he's going to hold this.
Flash has an upgrade lead as well, and he's going to be able to fight that. The force fields go down, but they don't really get anything done. The Zealots are being sim-citied out. Flash, you insane man. Flash is pushing it back. The herO army is not big enough to fight this, surely. Concussive Shell really coming into effect here as the Zealots get kited. But maybe, just maybe, there's enough from herO, maybe? No, there isn't. Flash is...
my
Oh,
God.
what?
He has to run out of there. What am I watching here? More Zealots, though, being worked in. That's quite a few Zealots. Maybe Flash overcommitted.
Oh, the charge is done as well. Yeah, Flash's got to pull back now. You might be right. Oh, my God, 2 Widow Mines out in the nick of time. And Flash, I think... he is holding on somehow. That third base looks a bit vulnerable, but there's not actually that much there to kill. Flash has a supply lead still. What is happening?
Well, he's playing better than herO, is what's happening. In fact, he's playing the nicest Terran that we've really seen. herO took the quickest third, basically, ever.
Yeah.
And... I mean, he went up to 9 gates, plus blank, plus force fields, and still he's not able to do it.
Kaboom! More mine hits going right into the center of those Zealots. There was, I believe, an observer there to check them, but it didn't really matter, because I love... Flash is preempting everything that herO is coming up with. herO says, you know what, alright, okay, right, you're gonna play Marauder Heavy? Chargeless. I'm gonna get a lot of charges, but you somehow have mines already. How did that even happen? And herO continues to try with the aggression. He's got Archons in the mix now, but it's a 76 army supply, 248. The mines are now burrowing. What are they going to hit? Hopefully in the middle of the Zealots. They actually hit the Archons there, which is not ideal, but it's not enough Zealots. herO's being pushed back again.
Wow, gets out of underneath those time warps as well. Flash's supply over 25 in the lead right now. More and more Zealots and Archons being warped in. herO realizes he has to kill Flash right away or he's not going to win this game. Coming back up, but more Widow Mines are here.
They are indeed. They connect to the right flank of the Zealots, which is absolutely fantastic. The Archons kind of caught at the back, not at the front, but the Zealots are continuing to push their way forward. Flash kiting for his life right here against some very heavy, very scary units, but it's not enough. Flash crushes the army. GG! Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my god. Whoa. Flash up 2-0 right now against CJantis herO in a best of 7 in the finals of the SanDisk SHOUTCraft Invitational. Oh my god, this is just madness so far.
It really, really is. Just everything that happened in that game was mind-blowing. Flash opens up with a safe build against something that never ever came, right? He gets really paranoid about something, throws down blind NG Bay, blind missile turret against absolutely nothing. herO recognizes that, takes a third base, denies all scouting, is in the lead in almost every possible respect. Flash waits for the perfect opportunity, gets the Nexus snipe, then he actually takes a good fight. Like, that was so risky. He could have lost his entire army there, and somehow he still took a good fight.
A lot of people will just lose their entire army there, killing very little, but he microed it perfectly, made every decision completely right, and it was insane. That was really the moment where Flash took this game by the reins and showing that you can't really do anything against him. He knows how to play out every situation, it seems.
Bonkers, absolutely bonkers. There were some pretty cool moves, actually, by herO as well. Something I never even got a chance to talk about in that, in the play-by-play was the fact that I believe herO actually used deliberate friendly target fire with the Archons to kill all of the Widow Mines in the back. And he also tanked all the Widow Mine shots with the Archons, which was, of course, crucial to not losing his Zealots. But even that wasn't enough.
No, you need more than that against Flash, how he's playing today, at least. Flash looking so good. I think he's reviving everyone's faith in him that was indeed waning. You know, dropping out in Code A this season. People were thinking, oh, maybe you're just a Pro League player now. But Flash is looking like he's going to be a force to reckon with, not just in this tournament in Pro League, but GSL Code S next season as well.
Assuming he doesn't get knocked out in best of threes, because apparently that's the only way to beat him. We're going to take a short break, folks. When we come back, Game 3. Currently, Flash leads 2-0 against CJ herO. Habitation Station will be the next venue, and we'll be back after this break. This is the SanDisk SHOUTCraft Invitational. Please visit sandisk.shoutcraft.gg for information on this tournament and our sponsor, SanDisk Extreme Pro SSD, for this extreme game. We'll be right back. Clear. Hi, my name's John Bain, and it's my pleasure to thank SanDisk for bringing us top-notch StarCraft 2 entertainment at the SanDisk SHOUTCraft Invitational. When I'm not casting StarCraft 2, it's my job to critique PC games, and to do that, I need the best hardware. One of the best upgrades that you can get for your PC gaming experience is a solid-state drive, so I'd like to encourage you to check out the SanDisk Extreme Pro SSD. It's engineered for super-fast read and write speeds and consistent high performance 24/7. What does that mean for your games? Faster load times, faster boot times, faster install times. Less downtime, more game time. Plus, they're easy to install, run cool, and are both virtually silent and energy efficient. If you're worried about reliability, no need. SanDisk backs it all up with a 10-year warranty. Game without limits when you step up to the consistent high performance of SanDisk Extreme Pro. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the SanDisk SHOUTCraft Invitational. What a finals we have on our hands so far. Neither of the first two maps disappointed in any way, unless of course you're a herO fan, but even if you were, you gotta be impressed by his playing Game 1, but Game 2 got out of control really fast.
Oh man, I thought he did a great job. He denied all the scouting, he took a quick third, and he had so much when Flash came down. He had 4 high-energy sentries, a mothership core, plenty of energy, Blink with stalkers, 9 gateways. Yeah, none of that mattered.
No,
Flash.
apparently it didn't.
Yeah, it's Flash. What do you want, man? He's called God for a reason.
He is indeed. They're ready to go. We're ready to go. Let's rock and roll. Habitation Station. Okay, we've got to see herO start the comeback. This is got to start. You can't go 0-3 down against Flash. That's not a good position for anybody to be in. We've seen him come back. We have seen him come back. I'll give him that from 3-1. He managed it.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, so this isn't over yet, everybody.
No.
Cool your horses. herO still has his chances here, but I'm sure everyone is paying more attention to Flash right now.
Yeah, I think they are, and obviously, like, the Flash hype train is in full swing, justifiably so, but never, ever, ever count out CJ herO. He is that damn good, and we've seen it even in this very tournament. He played so well to even get to this position in the first place, and he is more than capable of taking games from Flash. And let's be honest, you know, can Flash really keep up this pace for the entire series? Maybe not.
Well, you'd be surprised what this guy is capable of. I've seen him in the past, and I'm seeing him again. It's a beautiful sight to behold. Let's get into this game, TotalBiscuit.
Let's do that. To the northwest position here on Habitation Station, ladies and gentlemen, it's my absolute pleasure to bring you God himself, as rare as it is to be able to do that, who is currently up 2 maps in this best of 7 series. Can he seriously go for a clean sweep? What a statement that would be making. In the red trunks playing Terran, KT Rolster's Flash.
And his opponent in the top right of Habitation Station. Definitely not going to let his opponent sweep him, I'm sure. It is CJ Entis herO.
Oh, yeah. I don't see herO falling apart at this point. herO never falls apart. He's always very calm and cool, and he just loves the game. He's a very chill individual, and he's obviously got the skills. You know, Game 1 was madness. I think it showed to CJ herO's fullest possible potential, the skill he was able to bring to the actual playing field, that he was able to keep up with Flash when he was down that many bases. That was incredible stuff. Game 2, I just don't even know how it came apart for him. And I'm not even sure if herO does. He's had a few minutes to reflect on it. I think it really was just an extremely kind of risky move from Flash and a bad engagement from herO. Maybe he was a bit too far out of position. He was drawn out by the attacks on the rocks that go through the natural, and then he maybe didn't get back there quite well enough, and the Zealot Warping got stuck behind the sentries. So, in theory, if the Zealot Warping was where it should have been, that should have been a massacre.
You know, you make good points there. He definitely did get a little bit out of position, and Flash punished him instantly, but isn't that what high-level StarCraft 2 is? Trying to get your opponent out of position and then punishing? And, you know, if it is, Flash he's here to stay, man. That was just masterful the way he moved around the map. I don't think he would have moved in unless he thought he was able to do that.
Yeah, I think it was just super high-level decision-making. He wasn't rolling the dice on that one. He genuinely felt he could pull it off, and he was completely right. And herO was not able to hold on to it. And once that happened, and he still took a lot of engagement. You've got to just give Flash the credit, because even if he took that fight well, like, the bulldozer was behind it, like 9 gateways worth of units were just powering forward across the map, and Flash with barely any medevacs is kiting and kiting for his life across the map, falling back, microing constantly against what herO was doing, and then without even having any bunkers is able to hold.
It was pretty maddening for herO, that is. I mean, I'm still kind of in shock at the quality of games that we're seeing. You just never see this in an online tournament. You never see the best players in the world, and you never see them playing their best games. This is like a completely new experience for everyone in StarCraft 2.
Yeah, we said history will be made today, and the fact that this is such a unique match that it has never happened before, even offline, and certainly even in Brood War, and not in StarCraft history, has this match actually occurred, and it's delivering. So clearly we need more of that. We need to make that happen. And interestingly enough, where's Flash's regular eBay? It's not here. And this is an interesting little kind of reverse mind game that's being played because the Stargate is coming up. Like, this is maybe the one map where you would build a blind engineering base, surely.
Yeah, seriously, you would expect for Zest to go for an Oracle here. And in fact, he is kind of expecting because his Marines are up top, but let's see what he ends up doing with this. It looks almost like he wants to go for a Banshee?
Yeah.
Could that be?
Well, I mean, it doesn't make it a massive degree of sense, but I guess if an Oracle's good on this map, Banshee's pretty good as well, right? But that's going to get scouted pretty much immediately.
Wow, I'm pretty surprised with what we're seeing. But maybe it's going to be a Raven. Let's see here. He does land his starport on that tech lab, and it is a Raven. Okay, so is he going to do, like, a delayed 1-1-1 here?
That would be insane, wouldn't it? And that was not a brilliant engagement there for herO. Of course, now he's got regained control. Oh, he lost the Oracle! What?
Ouch. Ouch. That is so painful to lose that Oracle. He really didn't get much damage done that time.
No, he didn't.
You can definitely see the difference between herO Oracles and Zest Oracles. herO is much more of a robo player, and you know what? He's going to be regretting that he went Oracle, I think, because when you think about it, Stargate Tech not going to be too good against Siege Tank Marine Raven.
Siege tanks are being built against Protoss, Artosis. This is happening.
Yes, indeed. Well, you know, this series is gonna have it all, no doubt about that. Making a Viking now, continuing that siege tank production, a bunch of Marines as well. I expect that we're gonna see him push out and put some pressure on his opponent, but herO is rushing up to Colossus, which is a perfect counter to Marine siege tank.
Yeah, that's true. And one of course, the main reasons why you don't see a lot of Marine Siege Tank in this particular matchup. There's certainly a few ways to deal with it. It's not maybe the ideal unit. Because now he's going to see it. He's going to say, you what? You built that? All right, okay, well, I guess I better fall back. But this is a powerful push coming out of Flash. And there are 3 Phoenixes, a Mothership Core, and a Stalker. That's it.
Yeah, you know what? With point defense drone, most of that isn't even going to be able to fire.
Yeah, but once the photon overcharge goes down, what's it going to do? It's going to do nothing. It's just going to be deflected by the PDD.
That's kind of crazy. Is he just going to walk in and snipe the Nexus or something? I'm not even sure. I haven't seen something like this in a very long time.
And why haven't we? Like, if photon overcharge is so powerful and yet there is a counter to it, why do we not usually see this? It's got a bunker contained at the bottom of the ramp.
I don't know. Maybe herO will show us why we don't normally see it, or maybe Flash will just kill him, and then we will start to see it a lot. Definitely one of those two is about to happen.
Oh, one Stalker just goes down there. The PDD hasn't been deployed yet. I don't know. I simultaneously kind of like the Flash, the fact that Flash is holding on that PDD, but simultaneously I'm thinking, well, that would be so good against that Nexus cannon.
Yeah, you would think so.
Where are these Phoenixes? There's 5 Phoenixes on the map. Oh, they're going to get a tank on the way out. All right, so he's cutting off the reinforcements here with Phoenixes.
That's a really big deal. In fact, he's going to kill these SCVs that are going over to help out. This is supposed to be like an entrenched push onto the natural, but catching a siege tank in those 2 SCVs, I feel like it's already been completely neutered.
I love that move. Like, and it's such a dicey one, too, because you think, oh, well, what if Flash just goes up the ramp? And Phoenixes aren't really going to help much there, but he was able to prevent the reinforcements. He identified what this was and how to, like you say, kind of neuter it. There are still 2 tanks, so that's a bit scary, but there's a Void Ray coming in, there's an Immortal coming in, and I think we are about to see why this doesn't happen. He's going for it. He's going to actually engage here. The Zealot's coming around the side. The tank is still firing away, but it gets lifted. The Phoenix has come from behind. He lifts one tank and the second one. He gets the cleanup, and I guess that is why we don't see this push.
I guess so. That really didn't end up working out for him at all, but I gotta say, those Phoenixes were real MVPs here, picking off the siege tank, picking off those extra CVs.
They're gonna get
and
a second Viking. Holy sh! This is herO.
This is a huge lead for herO right now.
The fact that he managed to do that after a failed Oracle start, that is incredible. herO's playing out of his mind at the moment. We've got to give him credit for that. Brilliant break of the contain. Excellent cutoff of the reinforcements. Just such awareness to make that happen. He gets another Viking out as well. This is brilliant. I mean, this is a really weird kind of version of what Jim usually does, the whole Phoenix Colossus idea, but herO takes it to the next level by saying, you know what's really good? Colossus when you have no Vikings. You know what I'm going to do with these Phoenixes? I'm going to kill all the Vikings before they even get anywhere near. It's brilliant.
You know, that is a very good point right there. If he has not enough Vikings to deal with all of this, he'll never stop a Colossus push.
No.
The thing is, he's on 2 bases here, so he can't even afford a second starport. This is bad news for Flash. I don't know if he can pull out of this one.
Yeah, I don't think so. herO he dealt with that beautifully. Imagine if there were more SCVs and there were like 4 siege tanks in that push instead of the 2. I think that would have been an entirely different story. herO would have had a lot of trouble breaking it, but his decision-making was perfect. He did the exact right thing in that situation. Now herO is way ahead.
Well, herO, he's going to have to really stumble to lose this one. What is Flash's plan going to be? He is adding another command center. He's continuing siege tank production, which is the most interesting piece. And you know what? Siege tank plus Viking together eliminates Colossus very quickly.
I'd imagine it would. It's really, really hard. But what happens if your siege tanks get killed in the main?
Oh, man. These Phoenixes have just done everything this game.
These guys are the MVPs of this game. It's just unbelievable. You generally do not see Phoenixes killing like 3, 4, 5 tanks, and they are. The control's been amazing. He's finding the holes in Flash's defense, and he is picking up everything. He even delays the 3rd. This is brilliant play from herO. Absolutely exquisite.
In fact, he's starting to move out right now. That's how exquisite it is. I think he realizes that he may be able to just move this stuff and end up killing Flash. Flash's army is really small, kind of pathetic for this late into the game, especially when the Phoenixes can swoop in and pick up your most important units.
And the tech. He's almost got every unit that exists for Protoss here. Like, he had a couple of Templar, he's got like a random Immortal and a random Void Ray and a bunch of other stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna play, he's playing Nexus Wars here, I think, actually. He's building a bit of everything because it's impossible to counter everything. And here he goes, he's gonna prove that right now. The Immortals tank, all the siege tank shots, double lift coming in down the bottom. GG. herO is in this.
All right, good thing to see. I really was hoping this would not end up a 4-0 or something crazy like that, as much as all the Flash fans, I'm sure, would like to see it. Much better to see him try a very different build, something we really never see, and who knows if we'll ever see again.
Probably not after that, because he just got it torn to pieces. That was pretty brutal. Apparently, that is the counter. It's kind of weird, I suppose, that he wasn't expecting Phoenix, considering he knew that there was a Stargate behind it, but maybe he just expected, after herO had had a look at it, that herO would just do nothing but build ground units to hold at his natural. And that's not what herO did. herO actually went for a very small amount of ground units and said, the key to defeating this, considering it's a very slow push, is to cut off the reinforcements. It's not actually to engage it head-on.
Yeah, he really did whittle it down like that. You know, instead of picking things off at the front of the push, picking them off in the middle, and then crushing, that's like strategically and theoretically the best way to deal with almost anything in StarCraft, and he executed it very, very well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I am really impressed with herO there. If there was any doubt, there shouldn't have been after game 1, you know. Everyone should have seen that herO was obviously brilliant, even though he lost that game. But maybe after game 2, maybe people just tuned in and they said, oh, well, yeah, hero's going to get smashed. No, he isn't. There's no such thing as herO getting smashed. That doesn't happen.
No, this is going to be a close one. I think that this is going to go to 6 or 7 games, to be honest. I can't imagine it not. After watching these first 3, these guys are really, really evenly matched.
Yep, they are. I am so impressed. herO, you are excellent. Both of these guys are obviously excellent. That's why they're in the finals of one of the, well, the most stacked online invitational. Let's just call it what it is. The most stacked online invitational to have ever existed, and it is delivering in every way. These guys are amazing, and they're really showing their skills off here.
That they are. The next map going to be Merry-Go-Round. This one should favor Flash a bit. I'm interested to see what herO will do to counteract that, because taking the third base can be so difficult. But overall, I like Flash's chances to perhaps go up 3-1 now.
That would be good, certainly. herO's put one on the board, so we started the kind of reverse momentum. He's looking to try and equalize and really start to push this forward. But you are right. Merry-Go-Round, I even actually heard the Protoss couch. I'm not sure if you got to see the Protoss couch at Home Story Cup. It was 5 Protoss players, and they were pretty much all complaining about Merry-Go-Round. So I think the consensus is this is not a brilliant map for Protoss against Terran.
Yeah, it's pretty tough, man. I have the hardest time in the whole world here trying to get that third base up and not die to an attack in my main or drops, you know, like it's a tough one, and I think that we will see that reflected in herO's build order. I think he'll choose something that doesn't rely necessarily on him taking a quick and easy third.
Yeah, what will he come up with? Let's find out. To the northwest position, though, the man who is still up 2 maps to 1. He suffers his first defeat in this series, admittedly after trying something a little bit unorthodox. It doesn't work out, but he's still ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, in the blue trunks, playing Terran, KT Rolster's Flash.
And his opponent down at 6 o'clock, showing that he still has what it takes to take this grand finals. It is CJ Entis herO.
He does, absolutely. But what does he do here? Well, so far, he has built nothing, but he is on 11 supplies, so that is to be expected. Does he break out some kind of cheese here? It's kind of risky, because, of course, he doesn't want to go down 3-1. That would be an awful position to be in, even though he has won in it before. But it's simultaneously, at least an aggressive, maybe 2-base build might be the best way to pull this off against a Terran player.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here. I'm feeling if he goes for a 2-base all-in, should be good. Like, he could go for something like a huge charge lot Archon type of build. He could go for a 2-base Colossus all-in. Those are the 2 that I'm really looking towards for herO here to try to steal a win on this map.
Yeah, and it almost is stealing, isn't it? And when you look at the way that the thirds are set up here, there's so much potential for Terran just to do horrible things to you.
Oh yeah, those bases, man, are so hard to hold. There's so much surface area on them.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you have your whole army out there to stop that surface area from abusing you, well, there's this thing called the medevac. It's gonna drop right into your main.
You get dropped. The map designer was generous by putting these force fields into the air here. It's kind of needed considering the shape of the map, but that's not generous enough. Medevacs still get in there. Banshees still get in there. It can be pretty nasty one way or the other. So, yeah, I would be surprised to see a third base go up. Admittedly, it would be the last thing Flash would expect.
Maybe he could go hide it in another main like Flash did to him in Game 1. Who knows? But, you know, Terran being the mobile aggressor in the matchup, again, it's going to be really, really tough on him. So, Flash probably going to want to open up very normally. I think we'll see probably his quick eBay, you know, get his +1 going, get a good amount of units out, a third command center, and just be very careful on the lookout for all-ins.
Yeah, I think so, and that's why he went with this very standard Reaper opening 12-12 into the reactor, into the expand. You know, it's safe, it gives you information. His trusty eBay is on its way. That will be finished fairly soon.
And the Reaper, not too much intel, but there's really not that much intel to gather right now. Flash is aware of that, and if he can get in and spot what's going on, that's going to be fantastic. Otherwise, he's going to have to play very carefully because, you know, there could be like a blink all-in, but nope, going to be a Robo.
Robo. All right, fair enough. We'll see what comes out of that. It could be that 2-base Colossus you were talking about there, but it's also pretty safe. It means an early observer. Could be Warp Prism, but, you know, you're going to have to back that up with some gates, and usually you'd maybe throw some DTs in there to make something work. So it just seems like it's fairly standard for the moment here from herO, and like you said, Flash didn't get a lot of information, but there wasn't much to get. It would have been nice maybe if you'd seen that pylon location, just so he can always be aware that it's there, just for the potential of a scan later, because it's going to be used for something. It's nice to know where to land your scan, because you know where that pylon is, but, yeah, it was denied anyway, so, and that happens often, so it's not like Flash can be blamed for that.
Oh, certainly, and he knows how to act in situations like this where he doesn't have that full intel. We do have a Forge coming up for herO. Just one Forge, we have to know, because we've seen a lot of double Forge play throughout this tournament. Now, that one Forge could just be for some... Oh, wait, he canceled it! He canceled the Forge! That's huge! Oh, my God. Canceling that Forge, like, could anything smell of an all-in more than canceling a Forge?
A Forge, yeah. You just don't do that unless you intend to attack. There's an Immortal on the way here. Will we see Colossus, or will he actually attempt something with Gateway and Immortal?
Maybe. Immortal pushes are good.
There it is. Never mind. There's the Robo Bay.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a bit weird against Terran. You know, do that against Zerg, absolutely, but Terran...
You're going to proxy the Robo generally if you do an Immortal all-in. Yeah, got to get them there real fast before they have their stim done. But in this case... Yeah, he is going up into that Colossus tech, and looks like he's going to get Blink with it.
Yeah, very, very Zest-esque. If he then builds 2 Forges after this, then, I don't know, I'm just going to leave, I think, for a while. It's just, I'm just like, no, what are you even thinking? But no, he's actually going up to 2 Immortals, which is a quite surprising number, but of course it's nice to knock down those Marauders pretty quickly.
That really is going to give his army a lot more staying power with or without the Colossus, but that plus no Forges... Like, this is going to be a hard-hitting attack. Will Flash actually be able to hold on against it?
Well, so far Flash doesn't really have the army to do so. He is building up a significant Marine count, but that factory's pretty damn late, isn't it? The starport's only just really begun, so he doesn't even have medevac production here. He's going for his good old +1 with Stim, but is he going to get anything done with it? It's a fairly wide ramp. The Reaper comes up to try and give vision. The Sentry's slightly out of position. It looks like he'll just try and fight with the Photon Overcharge. And we'll see just how good those force fields are. Another one got warped in. There's the time warp. The Mothership core goes... No, it actually doesn't.
Oh, wow.
What?
Somehow it lives.
How did that happen?
Flash gets out as well. That could have gone so much worse for either side there.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of surprising. A lot of energy used up for Protoss. But of course, some damage taken from Flash. The fact that Flash saw 2 Immortals is gonna kind of give him a siren in his head. He's already starting the bunkers.
Yeah, he knows something's on the way, but Colossus and Immortal tend to crack bunkers pretty quickly. There's the 5-gate follow-up to that. I tell you, that's what that pylon's being used for, over to the side there. And this Marine is going to see the Colossus as well. Now he knows something's really up. Oh, you've got a Colossus and 2 Immortals. You didn't just build these for window dressing, herO. I know what's coming.
And he actually adds 2 Forges, which is blowing my mind. Maybe he's like, oh, I've gotten too scouted. I'll go poke with this, but I can't kill him. He's seen too much. So throwing up those 2 Forges is going to be his way to transition when this doesn't kill Flash.
Well, works for Zest. It could very well work for him as well. It's not a massive investment. It's certainly a possibility. Admittedly, the upgrades are heavily in favor of Flash at the moment. He's 1-1 versus 0-0. Not that makes a massive difference against what herO has, but that's a really small army, and I think herO's kind of realizing that I'm not going to break that. But Flash just pulled all these SCVs. You see that?
Well, he's taking it serious, man. You see a Colossus coming and 2 Immortals, that can break almost anything. So, just choosing to play really safely here. In the meantime, herO gonna start his 3rd Nexus. It's about halfway done, getting his upgrades going as well, and even making a Dark Shrine.
Okay. It's nice to throw that into the mix, and of course, with a Robo up, he could maybe consider Warp Prism. Flash is still kind of locked in on 2 bases, yeah? He has a kind of scary army. He's now, I think, realizes that he can't really be attacked, and he's now taken his 3rd here, too. So, actually, because he had the 3rd already prepared, he ends up being economically ahead with the mules there. Will Flash attempt to move out? Does he have the kind of army he needs to do it? I think his Viking count is low enough that he might not risk anything more than a sort of probing poke. Maybe he attacks the 3rd base, but it does seem a bit risky.
Well, I guess he could do a big spread and try to get something done, but he only has 2 medevacs, which gets me a little bit nervous about this. I really like a lot of medevacs on this map, so you can pick up and punish that main base when they're defending the 3rd, but with just 2, he can't really pull off too many shenanigans here. I think the most he can do at the moment is some pressure.
No, Flash even saving that Marine in the center, he has no intention. When he can use that APM to save it, absolutely, why not? Pylon going up over to the side here. So we're starting to see some interesting positioning for run-bys. There's one over here, there's one over here. This 3rd base is, of course, an orbital, so it's potentially very vulnerable. Flash is posturing around the 3rd base because he knows those run-bys are a real possibility.
And you know what? The more I look at this TotalBiscuit, this has to be a timing attack. There's just no way that he's not going to pull SCVs in this game. That 3rd base, it's wide open. You know, it's kind of late for herO. He put a lot of money into getting those Immortals out. I think it's a great choice by Flash. He's producing a ridiculous amount of Vikings, but just skipping medevacs. He's just going to try to give the haymaker here, the knockout punch with 1 attack. He's not even bothering to try and harass.
Yep, and Flash is holding on to 2 scans worth of energy here. The DTs are kind of lurking around, and they will be able to backstab. But yeah, I do think you're right. Like, with the low medevac count, he just wants to try and kill him. Here come the boys, man. They're off. And I think herO has to give that 3rd base up, honestly. I don't see him being able to fight there.
I'd be very surprised if he could hold this 3rd base. Very surprised indeed. Flash is up by 12 supply. He has a ton of Vikings, 10 Vikings right now. So this will be a tough one. But Flash actually going around in 2 pieces.
That's never good, but there weren't... Oh, there's a time warp that kind of comes up, but it doesn't matter. The force is now together, and I think, obviously, that 3rd base is going to go down. He wants to try and inflict maximum casualties, pull him back through. That's a lot of Guardian Shields that were deployed there. Crazy number, actually. The DTs did go into the natural. The fight is going to happen. That is overstimming, I think, maybe, from Flash. That could be risky, but there are only 2 Colossus remaining. herO's army is melting away here. Maybe his decision to try and hold the 3rd was not the right thing to do, but the amount of economic damage that herO has done with these DTs is significant. He's killed 21 workers, pretty much gutted the natural and the 3rd base.
Well, that's actually a big deal. Flash can't really go home and mine too easily, but then again, herO's still on only 2 bases. Flash looks like he may not end up breaking him here. Look at this. herO's picking off a lot of units.
Lovely blink there, right on top of the SCVs. No, it's like, hey, I've done economic damage. Let's put another nail in that coffin. It's now 27 SCVs to 46. The 3rd is always a lie when it comes to the Protoss, man. It's been said time and again. It's a lie. Don't fall for it. Don't fight around it. It's not used for mining. It's used to bait the Terran player into a horrible situation. And strangely enough, herO has managed to make that happen. He now has a huge supply lead. The DT backstab was massive. This is some very, very weak bio from Flash.
Really weak. He does not have enough medevacs to heal this quickly enough. And it looks like herO's going to poke in with these stalkers, see what he can get done, see the state of Flash's base. You know, it's a good thing not all those SCVs died with his attack because of the DTs. He still has some economy, but overall, herO doing better right now.
It's pretty rough. herO does want to watch out, though. The Zealots do get in there. The blink back and the Colossus coming in from the back here. But nice stutter step here from Flash. He gets into a really nice position to force this back. And I don't know if herO had to engage this. And Flash is looking to try and come back into this. He's pushing aggressively down his ramp.
Oh, but still too much damage. And GG. The series gets tied up 2-2.
Oh, maybe he did overpush very slightly there, but I don't know. He was holding pretty well there, but with the amount of economic damage that was done, I guess even though he was holding quite well, what was the follow-up to that with 23 SCVs, you know?
Yeah, that DT counter was actually really good. I was kind of questioning why he went for a Dark Shrine, but it looks like that was exactly the reason, saying, you know what, I can at least keep my army alive, but that means I have to do economic damage to him while he's doing economic damage to me, and it worked out perfectly for herO. Really well played.
Really well played. He pulled that off a merry-go-round, man, as well, which really is a Terran map, so that is good news, I think, for herO. That kind of gets one of those maps out of the way that he probably wasn't too comfortable with. And now, of course, we get Outboxer, which is fun in every way, and we see great games on that.
Yeah, certainly. Outboxer going to be a nice map for this very important game, because this game gives match point.
Yeah, it does.
Like, no matter what, who wins this only needs one more win. So a great map to go into for that. And should be another great game. Tied up 2-2. This couldn't be going better, TotalBiscuit.
Hype, 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 man. We're at 23,000 viewers on the main English stream. We're at 10,000 viewers on the Chinese stream. And if you are South Korean and watching this stream, go to Crank's stream, twitch.tv/Crank. They're at about 1,000 viewers actually as well, which is actually, that's a lot of Koreans for an online tournament on Twitch. I mean, this is not even on a Freaker. This is pretty damn good, folks. Everyone wants to see this match, and I don't blame them in any way. We're going to take a short break and remind you just who is responsible for making this happen. Please do show them their support. This is their first dip in the water for esports. We wanted to make it great. It looks like we did just that. So please do thank them on Twitter. They're at SanDisk. And do check out the SanDisk Extreme Pro SSD. Let me tell you why. We'll be back after this break with Game 5. The Grand Finals, Flash versus CJ herO. Hi, my name's John Bain, and it's my pleasure to thank SanDisk for bringing us top-notch StarCraft 2 entertainment at the SanDisk SHOUTCraft Invitational. When I'm not casting StarCraft 2, it's my job to critique PC games, and to do that, I need the best hardware. One of the best upgrades that you can get for your PC gaming experience is a solid-state drive, so I'd like to encourage you to check out the SanDisk Extreme Pro SSD. It's engineered for super-fast read and write speeds and consistent high performance 24/7. What does that mean for your games? Faster load times, faster boot times, faster install times. Less downtime, more game time. Plus, they're easy to install, run cool, and are both virtually silent and energy efficient. If you're worried about reliability, no need. SanDisk backs it all up with a 10-year warranty. Game without limits when you step up to the consistent high performance of SanDisk Extreme Pro. Alright folks, we've got a series on our hands. Anyone worried about a 4-0? Well, you can rest easy. These guys are going at it in a real way.
Tied up 2-2. This means that it is no longer really a best of 7 here. No. This has come down to a best of 3.
Oh no. That's terrible for Flash. He loses those.
Oh. Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna word it like that again. It's a best of 7, Flash. Stay calm, play your best. Let's see this go to Game 7.
That said, Flash did beat herO in a best of 3 earlier, so maybe we shouldn't really be too worried about that. Okay, the countdown begins, folks. Outboxer, the Pro League map. The map, of course, that herO has never beaten Flash on. I'll be damned if I can remember if he actually played him on it, but since herO has never beaten Flash in Pro League, then one can also assume he's never beaten him on Outboxer either.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure. Not all squares are rectangles, but all rectangles are squares.
Indeed.
Or the opposite of that, whatever. Anyways, oh my god.
It's the most pseudo-intellectual thing I could have come up with in terms of the stats. But it was correct, and that was the important thing. I was right. I was right. Alright, folks, here we are. This is Outboxer. You're probably not familiar with it if you don't watch Pro League. If you don't watch Pro League, watch Pro League. To the southeast position, in the blue trunks, the man when it comes to Pro League. He is tearing it up over there. In the blue trunks playing Terran, tied 2 for 2. He is KT Rolster's Flash.
And his opponent in the top left, showing some amazing play in these previous games. It is CJ herO.
He's playing some great games. He also plays some great games in Pro League, of course. Although round 3, bit rough for him. But I think, yeah, actually, Flash and herO both played. It was either last night or the night before, and they both won. So congratulations to them.
That's right. And Byung played last night as well.
He did.
And Zest played also, I think. Or it didn't get to his match. I can't quite remember. I didn't get to see it all quite yet. But,
my Hush pick paid off. He won. He did win.
Sick.
Yeah, so I'm getting points for him.
TotalBiscuit, the ultimate talent scout.
There it is. I see Hush's future. There are many points there. Well, I don't know about that. I think he's paid for the cost that he was in Fantasy Pro League, which was like 1. So that works for me. You know, I picked Hack last season for 1 point, and I thought, this is it. This is the bargain I've been looking for. They never sent him out.
That's rough. Hack is a very good player, too. That's too bad.
Yep. He is. He's
a good pick at 1 point, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, he's put on some pretty insane games in Code A this last season.
Yeah, totally. Hack is a really, really solid Terran player, and unfortunately, he happens to be on Startail, which happens to be allied with Incredible Miracle and Team Liquid, and has a massive roster, so he doesn't get sent out that much. So,
yeah.
So that works. What do you read anything into the kind of slightly odd gateway positioning here? I think this is just SimCity here from herO.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to SimCity it a little bit, like make sure that it's hard for that Reaper or any possible Reapers that may come to get in and really do any damage.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of smart to play like that.
It's pretty cool.
He always has great SimCities, herO does.
Yeah, he does. Really, really well designed. Flash, he loves that early engineering bay, even when he happens to put it in his opponent's natural. He's going for that full-on block here.
Yeah, always going for these quick double eBay openers, although one of them normally has to get canceled while the other one does the upgrades.
Yep.
Probably for the best that way, though. This will delay the expansion quite a bit.
Yeah, that's a lot of stats. I mean, it pretty much forced the Zealot out early as well, which you don't generally want, and especially considering there's an hour Reaper to follow that one up. The Mothership Core's coming over to help that Reaper. The Reaper, so not help the Reaper, that would be a bit weird to trade a Mothership Core. It helped the Zealot, and it's going to drive that away, but Outboxer has a decent amount of space for a Reaper to get into the main as well, so you got to watch out for that.
Yeah, well, it looks like that Reaper not going to be able to do too much, especially since a Stalker is about to pop out. And again, this map, I think almost especially you need to make sure you scout well on. This is a map that we have seen a lot of blink all-ins on.
Yep.
And definitely could be a strat that's being looked at by herO, but actually he starts a Sentry. Maybe he's going to stay with his normal Robo-type play, which has been working out so well for him.
It has been working out pretty well for him, hasn't it? It's hard to argue with his Robo play up to this point. herO has put points right back on the board in a really solid way, and anyone that thought he was going to get rattled by those 2 early losses is, of course, completely mistaken. herO doesn't get rattled.
That's right. herO is just a complete rock. This guy is always putting out his absolutely best games, and we've seen that so much throughout this tournament, which, once again, I know I've said it a few times, but seeing these guys play their absolute best in an online cup like this against each other is so refreshing and so awesome. You have spoiled us all, SanDisk and TotalBiscuit.
I didn't even know what to expect going into this, because of course we know that every player that was invited here is an absolute consummate professional in every way. But because top Kesper players don't play online cups because they don't exist in Korea, like the last actual Korean online cup that existed, I believe, was ESV Weekly, which is actually, of course, where Tasia got his start.
That's very true. I remember watching that every single time I possibly could. It was a great tournament indeed, but nowadays, yeah, I guess I don't know of any. If there are, they're well hidden. I mean, occasionally I see like a King of the Hill on like a commentator's stream or something, but
yeah,
that doesn't get players like this.
No, it generally doesn't. You know, you'll get some of the B teamers and some of the guys that are willing to play, and there's plenty of Koreans that will play in online events, but they won't necessarily be the top tier, and they'll end up playing in events where they have to be on the North American server, or worse, on the European server, playing at 3 a.m. I think this is the big difference, right? Because these guys are getting to play at a really comfortable time on their own server, and everything's kind of being catered to them specifically. And as a result, the game quality has been ridiculous.
Yeah, that's really the key right there. You know, I've done that before in the past, where you have to wake up in the middle of the night to play a match on a server with lag. You're never going to get as good of games. And
no.
This tournament is really, I guess, the milestone by which future online tournaments will always be measured.
I hope so. I certainly hope so. I also like that there's just a quick joke in the chat before we talk about the builds, which we're going to have to quite shortly, folks. That's going to have to happen. But a great joke in the chat there. Someone asked, why is it called SimCity? And someone says, it's called SimCity because you just can't get into it, which is a fantastic joke if you ever played the latest SimCity, which was just a mess.
Oh, I did like SimCity back in the day.
Yeah.
I haven't played the more recent ones. The only SimCity I play nowadays looks pretty much like what herO's doing, but not as beautiful.
And it is a beautifully designed base. Absolutely fantastic. It's full of traps and triggers. It is a fortress. Now, let's talk about the builds. As the Marines are pushing forward, they're not... I mean, they shouldn't, in theory, get anything done here. There's far too much here for herO. He should be able to pull that back, push that back immediately.
Yeah, he can't even force a Nexus cannon there.
No,
you saw with that Stim Marine, there was just too much. The force fields would have ripped him apart.
Yeah.
So going to turn around, but worth the poke at least, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He's taken a nice quick third base. None yet for herO, but it looks like he's going to take a quick third as well with a double Forge, Blink, and Colossus tech. So both these guys playing quite greedily.
Cool. That's what I like to see. We're going to see some really, really great TVP here by the looks of it. Armory coming down, and of course only single engineering bay, but that will allow +2 to begin almost immediately. As you pointed out, Flash greedily managed to get that third base. He got it up, and it's not a big army here from... It's very quick Colossus, certainly, but there's not really much else around it. So it's not a huge threat at the moment, but it's great on the defense. All it's saying to Flash at the moment is, you're not coming in, except that side of the map is where you're going to be for the moment.
Yeah, that's very true. And Flash right now flying up with a couple medevacs, seeing if he can get some damage done. So far, they haven't been spotted.
Oh, they get seen.
Looks like a probe. We'll see him.
Yep, and it'll get shot for its trouble there, so you want to be careful. But he's going to get... Oh, that didn't get cancelled either, so there's a nice little pickup. Kills the building pylon, and then he's just going to get out. But it's quite a small army that's covering all these 3 bases here for herO. The last thing you want, of course, is your Colossi to be isolated and killed off by a highly mobile force.
Yeah, that would be the absolute worst thing. You really... If he's going to kill your Colossi, make him make the Vikings to do it.
Yeah.
If you start losing Colossi to, like, stimmed-in Marauders and whatnot, that's when you really know you're in trouble. That's what every Terran's dream is, to catch Colossi like that and not have to make so many Vikings so that they can make more medevacs.
Yeah, certainly true. And so far, it doesn't look like Flash really wants to be aggressive at all. He's getting his Ghost Academy quite early, which is great, because the charge upgrade just started. It's like, he knows how this game is going to play out. Both sides are on 3 bases. They're both going to poke and prod to see if they can find holes in their opponent's defenses, but likely the fight is going to happen at 200-200, and he needs to be ready for those transitions.
Yeah, that is looking very likely here. I'm not thinking that we're going to see an SCV pull this game. You know, some games it really looks like it, and I mean, there still could be. He's making a lot of Vikings, his ghosts are about to pop out, and SCV pulls are very strong, but herO got this third base up rather quickly, which means he's going to have a lot more units than you would be used to if you try something like that. So 200-200 sounds about right.
Yeah, I also wish people would stop pulling SCVs. Like, in this tournament in particular, has it ever worked? Like, it hasn't, has it? Like, not once.
That's a good point. I'm not sure that it has. Yeah,
Oh.
It's definitely not been as efficient as we've seen in the past. There's definitely been periods of time where SCV pulls kill everything. But, oh my god, Flash is doing it anyways. Not a full SCV pull, though. Just one of his bases.
Yeah, it's still a decent number, certainly. There. And, oh, no. herO's army is kind of split up here. This is a bit dicey. It can get back pretty quickly, of course. Those are Blink Stalkers. SCVs are off the line. He must have seen them. SCVs will be at the front. Sentry count, only 3, and of course an open area. Could this be the time when the SCV pull actually works, or at least does enough damage? Photon Overcharge has been put into play. That Nexus will last about 3 seconds. The Mothership core goes down. The SCVs going into the fight, and the Nexus being focused down in the process. And does Flash just leave now? Or does he want to keep going?
I think he micros at least a little bit here. Has to run away through that time warp, but now does turn around. These Stalkers moving forward, picking off quite a few of those, while his Vikings try to take out these Colossi, but that is a lot of Colossi fire.
It is a lot of Colossus fire. Did it not work again? Or did it? We don't know. I mean, how much damage was really done? I love this Blink follow-up here. by herO, just knowing he can pick some stuff up. In the meantime, he somehow attacked the third base with a Zealot run by. Not a big one, but big enough. And they're even coming in to try and intercept the army as it pulls back. So while the third base did go down for herO, the third base was forced to lift for Flash. And herO now has a big supply lead in terms of army.
Yeah, he certainly does. His army definitely looking better. Flash still has a good economy, though. Oh, having to pull his SCVs for it.
That's so brutal.
Right now.
There's no answer to the Colossus. There's no answer. It's... Stop pulling SCVs! Please stop pulling SCVs! But the flank comes in, he gets one Colossus. It was good, but it wasn't good enough. And Flash looks like he's going to lose again as a result of an SCV pull.
Yeah, it looks like this just did not end up working out for him. herO has too many units here. And Flash, with half the supply, pulling the rest of his SCVs, certainly will have to GG shortly.
This is not something that works. Please, please stop. GG, ladies and gentlemen. For the first time in this series, herO takes the lead and brings it to match point. And I just question the decision to even do that.
You know, at first it was looking brilliant.
It was looking all right,
he killed the Nexus in a matter of seconds. He didn't even lose many SCVs. But then he turned around and fought. You know, he was trying to run away through a time warp. It kind of slowed him down, allowed herO to start pressuring the army. But when he turned around, he lost everything, and herO just chased him all the way home. Maybe if he had done the SCV pull and gotten out a little bit faster, maybe if he didn't turn around and fight. But against Blink Stalkers, do you have a choice?
Well, you don't really, do you? Unless you have a really big Marauder count, so that forward aggressive Blink to pick off stragglers is actually too risky to do. But it didn't seem like he had that, and the engagement didn't go brilliantly. The Colossus didn't die, I think, which maybe was the key factor. He went in there, it's like, well, okay, great, you got SCVs to tank the Colossus shots for like 5 seconds, but how are you killing the Colossus? And the answer was he wasn't. He killed like one in that fight. I'm just actually watching it on the delay right now, which is actually kind of handy. I should probably do that more often. But yeah, he lost like one Colossus, and the fight was just great for herO. So,
yeah,
well,
you got to be able to kill the Colossus off if you're actually going to fight. The longer the Colossus are alive, the more damage they do. It's just like, it's almost exponential how much damage they can do as they stay alive throughout the battle with all that splash. So, really kind of a rough fight there at the end of the day, but still another good game between these two.
Yep, and we're back on merry-go-round. Interesting. Good pick. That's good for Flash. Admittedly, he did lose on that before, but that surely can't happen twice, right?
You know, if these guys play this map 100 times, Flash is going to be the one with the winning record for sure. You know, it's a good choice. And since he lost that last one, wouldn't be surprised he takes this one now. He kind of has an idea of what herO wants to do.
Yeah, I think so. But herO takes the lead for the first time in the series, and of course, Flash Hype Train is getting dangerously close to coming off the rails, folks. So, can he do it? He's not managed to do it at any point during his StarCraft 2 career. He's fell short so many times. Can this be the one time he was looking so good? So good, but now, I mean, he basically just, like, he lost 2 games due to SCV pulls, right?
Yeah, that was a bit rough, man. The SCV pulls didn't quite work out for him. herO is really good against those. He knows just how to do it. He lets his third die. He gets into a better position, uses a nice time warp, and that's all she wrote for the SCV pull.
The third is a trap. It always is when it comes to the Protoss, man. Don't. Like, they want you to kill it, seriously, because then they kill you. But this is the man who is 1 game away from the SHOUTCraft Invitational Championship. He is 1 game away. He's clearly got what it takes. Can he take it all the way? To the northwest position in the Blue Trunks playing Protoss. Here's CJ enters herO.
And his opponent, down at 6 o'clock on merry-go-round. He has to win now and bring it to Game 7 or he is out. It is KT Rolster Flash.
Of course, if herO wins this, that will be 4 in a row. That would be an excellent, excellent piece of comeback here for herO. I mean, that's the 2nd time he's pulled it in this tournament.
That's true. He He was in pretty dire shape against Zest and came back. And,
Yeah.
you know, Flash starting up 2-0. If herO just comes right back and wins from there, that's pretty convincing. But, you know, again, this map is a tough one for PvT, as I'm sure everyone knows and everyone's heard, and anyone who's played agrees with that. So, you know, I'm thinking Flash can take this, and we can have that dream scenario of a Game 7.
Yeah, I would definitely hope to see a Game 7. Do you feel like... It almost feels like with these SCV pulls, I know it's a calculated risk, and it's kind of like we've got to kill the Protoss before he gets 3-3 and does all sorts of stuff like that, but I mean, it's not like Flash can't play late-game macro TVP. He can. He's proven it already.
I think it's just the fact that High Templars are so good in like extremely long games. You just have storm flanks coming in everywhere. It gets kind of volatile in that way that, you know, you miss 2 High Templars that come in behind you during one battle, and you can just lose the game that you've played brilliantly during and were winning until that moment. So, you know, I think because of that, Terrans are like, all right, I hit my macro strat, I get an advantage in supply. If I pull those SCVs, that exacerbates my advantage in supply for my attack, and I can take you.
Oh my god. That was
my god.
So risky by Flash, and herO just surrounds the Reaper and kills it.
Is he tilting? Flash never loses his early Reaper like that. Never.
No, I've never seen that happen. I can't believe he dived into that mineral line. He's building another Reaper and a Marine from there. Like, he's having to replace his Reaper.
That's kind of expensive, you know?
Yeah.
That's not something you want to be spending on right now. In fact, he would already have his +1 started if it wasn't for having to build that second Reaper.
Yeah, I mean, that messes his build order up completely because he built that early engineering bay and can't do anything with it.
Yeah, and there it goes. I mean, I guess it is more important to get the Reaper out and actually see what your opponent's doing, but still, that's very unflashy.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
It's very dark. It has nothing to do with the way Flash plays, you know? He never loses that Reaper so early.
No, and this harass is annoying as well. There's now, of course, enough Marines to fend it off. And Flash, of course, microed against it, didn't lose anything. But, yeah, that is not common at all. I mean, it was great reaction times by herO, of course, to be able to pull the SCVs and pull the pros, get the surround. And I'm almost convinced that was a deliberate bait by herO. But herO couldn't have possibly imagined that Flash would dive the mineral line like that.
Yeah, no, and generally that's not the case. Maybe he looked away for a second.
That's possible.
I'm not sure how that happened, but hopefully he can keep calm. You know, this guy has won so many championships back in Starcraft 1 that I'm sure he can look at that and be like, okay, I made a mistake. Just going to tighten up, play my game, and see how it goes.
2-base Colossus coming in right here. That is an early robo. 6 minutes 41 to start the robotics bay here. And Flash has not seen it yet. And he might get an opportunity to. Nope. Not going to happen.
Not quite yet. We do have that Immortal make in TotalBiscuit. Are we going to see a couple Immortals? I do believe so, since he's chrono boosting it out. And
same build
that
last
means,
time, right?
Yeah. Will it get scouted as quickly this time? Because Flash did a nice poke before and saw what was going on.
Yeah, but Flash ended up losing that game to that build.
That's
so
true.
I think herO being one game up and that Reaper is going to unnecessarily die. It could have at least dived in there. It was unfortunately stationary at the bottom of the ramp. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much now, but yeah, that was a bit strange. And I suppose herO's attitude is, right, I'm one map up. This worked the last time. Let's do it again.
Well, he's doing it, but a little bit different here. He's actually chrono boosting that first Colossus. He's only made one Immortal. It looks like he wants to do this push a lot quicker. He'll probably spend most of his gas right now on getting out 2 Colossus, I believe.
Yeah.
And just as many gateway units as he can muster.
Yep, and that would be pretty powerful. Flash has just finished his starport and is now going to start producing most likely medevacs initially. And I wonder how many Colossus is going to go with. Is 2 enough, you think, with this push?
Yeah, you know, this one's super fast. I don't know for a fact that he'll break Flash, but the 2 Colossus timing push definitely does exist. And it's supposed to hit, and there's just no Vikings. So it's like, yeah, I only have 2 Colossus, but if I had spent time to get the third, you might have some anti-Colossus attack.
Interesting. All right, well, Flash has pretty much no map control. He does see the Immortal moving out, though. which is obviously a tell. You wouldn't want to wander around with an Immortal unless you plan on doing something with that. He probably sees the Observer moving around to keep an eye on things as well. Another Marine heads out. Barely misses the warp in. It will see them moving, though. Okay, so that's kind of revealed. I think he knows what's up now, and he immediately pulls back his drop, of course. He's like, nope, this is not a good idea right now. And he establishes 3 more bunkers. Will they be up in time, though? Extended Thermal Lance is about to be done.
Yeah, that's right. His second Colossus is almost down there as well. He is adding a couple forges in case this goes wrong. And it looks like Flash has a pretty solid defense so far. I don't know that herO's going to be able to break that.
I love the positioning of the Immortal. It's tanking all those Marauder shots. We're going to actually see some good focus fire coming in here. But so far, this has done nothing. And these bunkers are about to finish. So Flash is actually fine right now. And like you said, the transition's coming in behind it. I think that if there was a window of opportunity, it has been missed. And herO is not going to be able to make this work.
Yeah, you know what? He took the risk, and some things it did do is force some extra bunkers, lost mining time, and that double medevac drop that was moving out, that had to go home. So he's definitely controlling the pacing of the game, but this isn't like the absolute cleanest third base and double forge. He's a bit behind as far as upgrades go, that's for sure.
Yeah, and Flash is so far recovered quite nicely. If Flash was on tilt, he's definitely not showing it now. You know, he held that very calmly, and now, of course, he's denied the proxy pylon, and he's got another drop heading over to the top here. So he's showing a drop to herO, saying, "Hey, look, I've got a medevac here," but he actually also has a medevac here. That's one of the nightmares of merry-go-round. There's these big entrances by air into the bases.
Yeah, that is very true. There's a lot of surface area to actually drop on, despite being pretty hard to get out through the back. Now, he does have this drop coming into the main base. Not a lot of units up there, but the Mothership Core is coming to help out.
Yep, a couple of... Yeah, we'll see a couple of probes go down. I'm a bit worried for this medevac. Blink is done. The limited airspaces. Oh my god, that could have been brutal if that had happened, but thankfully it didn't. And in the meantime, also a medevac attempted to go in here, but that cannon's in the same place, man. In fact, wasn't that also the place Zest put his cannon on this map? I think it was.
I think it was, actually, yeah. Seems like that's a good place to put cannons.
I agree.
Guess I'll start putting my cannon there.
Yeah,
all right.
Absolutely.
Right now, Flash has landed his third command center, sending SCVs as well, about the same time as herO's. So, despite the fact he did have that quicker third command center all finished, still not as quick mining it as he would have liked. But he is taking a bit of a supply lead here and continuing to macro aggressively.
Yep. And that does tend to happen at this kind of point for Terran. You don't get a massive gateway explosion, and it's just like there's the more consistent kind of ramp up for Terran, and then Protoss kind of has these bursts of supply. So it's not unusual for Terran to be slightly ahead at this point, but they may be behind in terms of power units. I mean, this is about to be the 5th Colossus out here for herO. And upgrades are... I mean, they've caught up. It's 1-1 versus 1-1 here.
Yeah, that's quite important, but we do have that +2 finishing up for Flash pretty soon, but after that it will be followed by 2-2 for Protoss. So kind of going back and forth on these upgrades.
Yep.
And it looks like herO going to start moving out a little bit, using these Blink Stalkers and trying to figure out what's going on, but it is an SCV pull, TotalBiscuit.
He's doing it again? And I can't believe he's doing it again, especially against 5 Colossus. Will it work? There's EMPs in this time, and there's a decent number of Vikings. There's still 5 Colossus. Can this work? Can Flash actually make it work? The EMP goes down. The Mothership Core is dead, so there's no photon overcharge whatsoever. Colossus being focused down here as well. More EMPs, but there's still 4 Colossus at the back. Another one falls down here. Flash is pushing it back. Flash is pushing it back. He might have finally made this work. More Colossus down. They're all dead. They're all dead, but Flash's army is too.
Yes, it certainly is, but you know what? At least he killed all those probes that got pulled down during that fight.
Yeah, it's actually equal workers lost.
Yeah, it's pretty close. 34 SCVs against 45 probes, and he does have mules, but this is still a scary army that herO is bearing down on Flash with.
Yeah, he is, but the army only has 1 Colossus in it, and it's mostly Stalkers and Zealots. It will, however, be +2 Stalkers and Zealots very, very shortly here, so Flash has really got to step it up in terms of the macro. He needs to reinforce and make that defender's advantage count.
Well, he is rallying out as quickly as he possibly can. Still has a couple medevacs, making some Vikings also. Definitely needs those Vikings to knock out the Colossus. He can win against gateway units, but Colossus are a big issue here.
Yep, the second one is now out. There's 4 Vikings, 5 Vikings versus... It's going to be 6 Vikings, actually, against 2 Colossus. That's not a bad number, especially with a decent amount of Marauders in here. And Flash is already pre-pulling the SCVs out. He is behind in terms of supply, though. Got to watch out for that. The medevac's healing the SCVs there to deflect, and the aggression is coming in. He has got to hold it. He is regretting salvaging those bunkers. There's no bunkers at the top of the ramp right here. The Vikings are out, though, and they're going to focus down the Mothership core by the looks of it. The Stalker's now focusing down those Vikings. 1 Colossus does fall. The force fields are pretty good, but the evacuation from Flash.
A great evacuation indeed. One of the Colossus did go down, but there's no more Vikings. He's still popping them out as quickly as he possibly can. But is that going to be quick enough?
The bunkers
herO
are done.
Looking to attack again.
The bunkers are done. I think Flash can hold this. I really do. I don't think this army is actually big enough. But what it has done, which is very important. Oh, wow. Blink into the main base. Really nice move here. It's going to force Flash, of course, to posture back, and he wants to use the Colossus, I think. But actually, this may have been a mistake from here. No, never mind. I'm sorry. It's a blink. Of course, he's not made a mistake. But this third base right here, Flash is deploying a factory. I think you might even want to build wind mines in that middle line. This third base is up for the Protoss, right? And it's been denied for the Terran. That's what worries me here.
Yeah, that is a really big issue. Even with just a few probes mining, it does make quite a difference in a situation like this where both players are hurt on economy. Yeah. He's trying to float his command center back down, but sees, uh-oh, the army is still here. This containment play by herO is brilliant.
It really is. There's going to be some ghosts with EMPs, although I'm very worried those ghosts might get picked off by Blinkstalkers. Hopefully, they will not be. It looks like they'll focus fire not happen. Wow, it's a lot of Blinkstalkers are going to die here. That was nice. That was pretty good, but Flash is going to do more work.
Well, killing off 3 Blinkstalkers for a Viking, I guess that's a pretty good deal overall, but he needs to get that Viking count up still. We're up to 3 Colossus in this main army with another one walking down to meet him.
Flash has salvaged the bunkers. He believes that he can break this container, maybe fight in the open field here. Thank God he's not pulling more. Oh my God, he is! That's all of them! That's all of them! He's pulling the SCVs! He needs to, he thinks he needs to win right now. Oh my God, please have the SCVs at the front. Flash is what? No. He does not want to be there. The time warp! Flash! He needs to move back. This is a terrible place to fight.
It certainly is, with double force field and that time warp. So many of his units stuck behind, continuing to stem and run forward. He says now or never, but it might end up being never because of this.
Surely it's going to be never. The SCVs are at the back. Can he seriously break through? No, he cannot. This is not going to happen here for Flash. Maybe he did tilt. Maybe that is what happened. GG, ladies and gentlemen. And herO, in a fantastic performance, is your SanDisk SHOUTCraft Invitational champion.
That is it. herO takes down Flash with a 4-2 score. Really well played. I am in shock. You know, Flash with this many SCV pulls, a little bit sloppy there in that last engagement, but herO really put it to him. He put him in a hard spot. He had to make some tough calls. He made the one he thought was best, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough. herO is the champion.
And well-deserved. Very well-deserved. I mean, think about the kind of caliber of play he had to even get through to do that. He had to get through the GSL champion Zest. And, of course, he had to beat Flash, who, like, started off so strong. So strong. Like, it looked like it could have been a 4-0. Like, based on those first 2 games. Like, Flash doesn't... I mean, there's no mistakes. Flash is just playing perfectly. But herO comes back for 4 wins in a row. And it did seem in that last game like maybe Flash was a little bit on tilt. Like, that last SCV pull, particularly like the engagement, it was actually horrible. It was really not very good at all.
He definitely did mess up there. And don't forget he lost a Reap early on. That's not very normal for him. Maybe he was getting a bit frustrated. That can happen even to the best of us, getting frustrated at StarCraft 2. The best game in the world, but also at the same time the most frustrating game in the world, as I'm sure that you know, TotalBiscuit.
No doubt. But congratulations to CJ herO, who puts another championship under his belt here, winning an beating extremely difficult field to get here.
Oh yeah, indeed. 8 of the best players in the world, no questions there. Putting on some of the best games that we have seen all year long. Seriously, we have had some TVPs and TVTs that were amongst the best games. And don't forget, our TVZs and PVZs were very good also. This really had everything, this tournament.
It did. It really, really did. It's sad to see Flash kind of bomb out like that. That was a really hard thing to watch, honestly. He was looking so good. But herO really brought it today. He really did. He played phenomenal StarCraft 2. There's no doubt about that. He deserved that. He made it count when it mattered.
Yeah, that's what matters, right? A great win for herO. This guy is really racking up tournament wins, man. A couple IEMs, now a SHOUTCraft, and don't forget he's made it very deep in a lot of tournaments as well. Second place at the IEM World Championships. And of course, pretty deep in the GSL Codes, generally speaking. This guy is a real force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, there's not even a question about that. And Flash, unfortunately, is denied yet another title, and after an incredible run too. That's what really I think has got to be the thing that stings.
Yeah,
another second place.
You know what? It sucks that he lost this. We all want to see Flash do well and win a championship, but this tournament should give Flash fans, and in fact just StarCraft fans and esports fans, hope. Flash is coming.
Oh, yeah.
You can't stop him. He is coming, and he's going to dominate. He's the greatest there ever was in Brood War, and he, for many games, looked like the best Terran that we've seen in StarCraft 2, despite not quite winning it at the end.
Well, maybe he won't pull as many SCVs in the next series that he plays because, well, we said it earlier, it's never worked in this tournament. It didn't work there either. That's like, what, 3 games he lost as a result of doing that. And sometimes I guess you have to do it. Especially the last game, it's definitely understandable, considering that Contain was so effective. But the engagement was a disaster for Flash. And herO calmly destroyed the army and took the game. And took the whole series, and of course took the championship.
Yeah, it's a big win. A lot of money, no question there. $4,500, right? Yep,
4.5k for CJ herO, and of course 2.5k for Flash, which is great. He can add it to his money pit.
That's right. His Scrooge McDuck vault or something like that. This guy has won like right around $500,000 he has won in StarCraft 2, and that doesn't, or in StarCraft overall, and that does not count, his endorsements and stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah. In his money pit, he keeps his golden mouse and his many treasures, and he can dive in there tonight and console himself, unfortunately, for his loss today. But CJ herO, the smiling assassin, prevails once again. There is a reason why he is ranked as highly as he is. He is one of the best in the world. He proved it again today. He is not to be underestimated, and he played some fine StarCraft.
This has been a great tournament. Once again, TotalBiscuit, thank you so much for having me. Thank you to SanDisk, the sponsor. Without them, of course, this could never have happened.
No, it absolutely could not. They took a risk, they dipped their toes in the esports water, and I hope that we delivered here with this tournament. I don't think there's really any doubt. It was certainly the highest tier online cup we've managed to have so far in StarCraft 2 history, and I hope we can do more.
Oh, yeah. I would love to see more of these. To get players of this caliber, it never happens. It never has happened. I hope it happens again, though, because God, this was some great additional content for StarCraft, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was awesome. The quality of games on display throughout this entire event have been absolutely incredible. We've seen some of the most exciting StarCraft 2 that we've seen in a very long time. We've seen Deep Series, which is awesome. We don't get to see that often. And we've seen the best players battle it out. So, big thanks to SanDisk Extreme Pro SSD for being the reason why this exists. And of course, we have a list of people to thank before we sign off tonight. Of course, big thanks to Artosis, who has been co-commentating all 4 days here. Big thanks to you. You've made this tournament absolutely awesome.
My pleasure, completely. Thank you so much for thinking of me and letting me come on and cast with you on this. It's been great.
It was a lot of fun. Big thanks, of course, to the Korean casters, the Axiom team, and Crank, who was instrumental in making sure that we got this lineup in the first place. There's no way that we would have got it without his assistance, so thank you very much to him for that. and hopefully enjoyed his first big casting experience. Apparently it's harder than it looks, so he says. So, there you go. He has certainly learned from that experience. Big thanks to Olivia for doing all of the adminning for this tournament and for helping out the Korean stream as well as helping out with the rebroadcast. Of course, there will be a rebroadcast of this event so that you guys can catch up on whatever you missed. If you happen to have just tuned in, you can watch the games once again. Big thanks to Chris, who is responsible for the art assets for this tournament. All those awesome portraits. He actually made those. So that's absolutely awesome. Thank you very much to him. Big thanks to the Chinese casters over at Neo TV, and thanks to Blizzard, actually, for getting me in touch with them. They have been instrumental. Instrumental, no doubt at all about that. And I'd like to thank all the players for putting on an exceptional show. Now, if we thought that some of these players might take it easy because it's an online event, well, they proved us wrong there. They take this seriously, and I'm really humbled by the respect that they actually showed for this tournament, and ideally hope that they will come and join us again for another event of this caliber.
This has just been fantastic, Total Biscuit, and I'm in a great mood. Thank you, man.
Yeah, it's been such a great end to such a great event. And of course, big thanks to Home Story Cup for actually cross-promoting with us. That is very much appreciated. Big thanks to Take for an excellent event indeed. It's been awesome, yeah. That's all I can say. It's been a great event. It's probably going to be the last thing that I cast for a little while, because I'll be, of course, seeing my oncologist on Wednesday and starting my treatment to kick the living shit out of this stupid disease that I managed to get myself, so I can get right back on the casting train. It's kind of sad for me, because I'm going to be missing out on MLG, which I very much wanted to go and cast, as well as Red Bull Atlanta, but everyone that's going there, hope you have a great time. We'll be sending Alicia and Hart, actually, over to MLG, so you can meet them there. Hopefully they will do very well. They've both historically done very well at MLGs. They love Anaheim, so they'll hopefully have a really good time there. And they'll be playing in WCS too, so we'll be seeing them in the round of 16 WCS NA, which will be absolutely amazing. Right, well, I guess that is about it. But before we sign off, any shout-outs, of course, Dan? Where can they find you if they have just somehow discovered you? I'm not sure how that happened, but maybe they just don't know who you are and what you do.
Well, if you just discovered me, I'm Artosis. Check me out on Twitter, twitter.com/Artosis. My Facebook, facebook.com/Artosis. And of course, I got some YouTube too, /Artosis TV there. And just watch a lot of Starcraft, guys, because that's what I do.
It is a great, great game to watch. The best esport in the world. Numbers may not necessarily reflect it, but bear in mind the difference between McDonald's and a fine dining restaurant. Simple as that. Numbers ain't everything. Numbers are not everything. We saw some incredible stuff. It's my favorite esport to watch out of all of them by a country mile. It is so much fun to watch at the highest possible level, and hopefully we have some new folks joining us that have just experienced StarCraft 2 for the first time. I do hope you will come back and watch yet more tournaments. There are so many great events coming your way. June is stacked for great tournaments, man. It is looking awesome. I mean, not only do we have the round of 8 of GSL, which is top quality stuff, we have Pro League, we've got MLG Anaheim on the 20th of June, we've got DreamHack Open Summer 6 days before that on the 14th of June, and we have Red Bull Atlanta following up, as well as the round of 16 onwards and the round of 8 of the WCS for Europe and America. So much top quality stuff. And the Ace of Team Story Cup finals are coming in. The playoffs are going to be happening very soon. There's everything you could ever possibly want for StarCraft 2 going on right now.
There certainly is. It's a good time to be alive.
It is, man. It really, really is. Once again, congratulations to our champion tonight, CJ enters herO, who takes it 4 games to 2 over KT Flash, walking away with the lion's share of the prize purse provided to us by SanDisk Extreme Pro SSD. Please do consider it if you're looking for an upgrade. They are making their way into stores right now. It's a brand new product. It only came out a few days ago, so they're kind of difficult to get now. But check out sandisk.shoutcraft.gg to find information on the SanDisk Extreme Pro SSD with the industry-beating 10-year warranty. That is a fast piece of kit. You want to load StarCraft 2 faster than those guys with the wooden hard drives? That's the way to go, man. It's so quick, and you will not regret an investment in SSD. That is just one upgrade that cannot possibly be bad for you. We're done, folks. Good night. Thank you very much for watching the SanDisk SHOUTCraft Invitational. My name has been TotalBiscuit.
And I'm Artosis.
And we'll see you next time.